But I will tell you that sometimes when I've had fears, I've been depressed because I haven't overcome them. You know, and that's why I tweeted that stupid thing that fear is a cousin of depression. You know, so I didn't want anybody to be mad for a fact that starts to trigger in your mind. I really wanted Dave Attell to call today. I spoke to him yesterday briefly, and I really wanted to explain the comic mind and the different forms of comedians' minds. And I don't know the mind. I know my mind, and I know how my mind works. And I don't get depressed. I do have dark thoughts. And they race in my mind, and they hit so hard that it shatters me for 3 minutes, and then I have to put it in a wastebasket. There's a wastebasket next to me on my left, and I put the shitty thoughts in there, and I've had to do this. And yes, when I went to the psychotherapist that time for my anxiety, we discussed the dark thoughts that I have. And I don't want to take medication because I don't want to feed it. When you have a dark thought, you overcome it yourself. Well, at least in my mind, that's what I do. I know I'll get emails from people saying you should go on this pill or you should go on that pill, and that's what I don't want to do. You know, that's what I want to work this shit out myself. And that's what I've always done. You know, this week I was telling Lee that I had a problem with my wife this weekend, whatever, because of my temper with the baby. You know, I fly for a living, and I've flown in the back of the plane, I've flown in the front of the plane, and from the ages of 1 to 5, it's very hard to travel with a child. You know, and I get to see the other side of it. I get to see, you know, flying used to be a great experience, Lee. I don't know if you ever flew as a child.
I as a child, but it was already kind of. I remember we used to have they would give you silverware, like actual metal for the meals, but that ended quickly. Like by the time I was a little kid, it was already terrible.
But it was always supposed to be a good experience for you. You're supposed to be excited, and even as an adult, you're supposed to be excited when you fly. When I fly now, it's just a business, but I don't like it either. And every day you read how there's terrorism and this and that. You know, you can't outdo life, but you can high your percentages by doing certain things or not doing certain things, you know. And I was just very scared that Mercy was going to fly. You know, that's it. And because of that fear of Mercy, it bled over into all my other aspects of life, and it made me angry all week, and it really did affect me. And we worked it out or whatnot. But it's amazing that I was getting dark thoughts. That's why I didn't want Mercy to fly. You know, I actually saw the terrorists on the plane smacking my child, you know. Ugh. I see those things in my mind. And that's what happens with me. You know, I don't get thoughts, dark thoughts. You know, my heart goes out to him, how he ended up dying, and I don't know what he was going through. You know, I hope that God has mercy in his hand, you know, when he touches him. I don't know. But I will know that it was just very sad. And,
it's terrible. I have people very close to me in my life who went through it, and it's great that you can go through it and not have to take the pills. But I know multiple people who've taken it and it changed their lives, and it's I had like 3 or 4 people within like 2 years of me graduating that could committed suicides, and it's just I don't even want to say depressed, because when people kill themselves from depression, you're like, well, I was just having a bad week or something. But I've had bad thoughts when I've been down, but I've never seriously considered that at all. And it's just, I can't imagine what you must be going through.
Fear twists people up. It twists me up. It twisted me up to the point where I was asking my wife about missing money. Like, I thought I was missing money from my checking account. I'm like, did you take it? That's how deep the fear took me this weekend. That's what it did to my thoughts. It made me delusional.
Oh, wow.
So I get it. I get it, guys. And I've always had those little things when something scares the shit out of me. It's like I get crazy. I lose my equilibrium. So the mind works in a fucking weird way, man. The mind works in a weird way. And we touched on it the other night, but there was too many people in the room, so I really couldn't pour my heart into it. I'm not the type of person that's going to write something on Facebook, man. I don't like that shit. You know, I have to write everything on Facebook to let people see it. My Facebook is to get you people up in the morning, to crack a stupid joke, and to move on with my life. I really don't want to start writing sentences in my life experiences with Robin Williams. I just don't like that shit. I know what happened, and I don't have to tell nobody, But in the podcast, you have to address it because people are listening. They're going, what the fuck? I know he was a comedian. You don't feel anything? Yeah, I feel something. I feel scared. I feel scared for myself. For a couple of days, it did affect me. Was I great friends with Robin Williams? No. We seen him that one time down in town. I saw him one night at the Improv, and I said hello. And I saw him a couple times at the store, and I said hello. I didn't really know him. I didn't really have a conversation with him, Did he intimidate me? Nah, I just didn't really talk to him. I just didn't. But after what I saw on Twitter and read on Twitter, everybody's a fucking authority. I'm not an authority of anything. I'm an authority of what I lived through.
Right.
And I don't live through depression. I just live with shitty fucking thoughts. And they scared me, and they scared me at night. And there's times I gotta take my breathing mask off at night and catch my wits and wipe my tears off my eyes or something. But that's what it does to me. I ain't gonna kill myself. So I love you guys, and thank you for the concerns and the emails. I answered 90-something emails yesterday.
Wow.
And a lot of them were talking about that. People with depression, people with, mental anguish, anxiety, it's overwhelming,
Yeah.
I had an anxiety-driven addiction where if the coke wasn't in my body at a certain time, the anxiety was so overwhelmingly that I'm happy I wouldn't talk to people in that time. You wouldn't understand me. If I came to you and grabbed you by the shoulders, I would say, Lee, I just need $60. And the more you would say, Joey, Lee, I need $60 fucking dollars, okay? And you would see it in my face and finally go, okay, man, calm down, That's the same thing. That's the same thing. It made me crazy. So I'm crazy. I get it. But I just didn't like how people made us seem.
Right.
That we go back to our fucking rooms and cry and we're monsters inside. And that's not the fact. I go to dinner all the time with comics afterward and they're fucking fine, and that's part of it.
Right.
That's part of it. To do this career, people, think about it. You gotta be fucking crazy. You gotta be fucking crazy. But then again, to be a doctor, you have to be crazy. To do what Paula does, you have to be fucking crazy. When somebody tells you they're going to law school, you look at them and go, huh. Do you know what you're getting yourself into? When somebody tells you they're pre-med, what makes a fucking motherfucker look at his family and go, hey, Ma, I know I got a degree in fucking political science, but guess what? I'm going to choose the life of a fucking comedian.